Hello, hello. We're gathering for our monthly style advice in our membership here. So today we're going to talk about organization, specifically closet organization. So one of the biggest things that questions I get from my customers is, how can I be more organized? How can I organize my closet? Right? It makes things easier, right? We all have a hard time in the beginning with keeping our closets organized. And so we're going to talk about that today. Bear with me. I got a couple things here open there driving me crazy. All right. So let's start with this first. In an ideal world, I would love you to pull everything out of your closet and go through it. But I have found in many years that that's a really big task. So we're going to chunk it down into some steps. The first thing that I would say that you should do is go through what's in your closet and look at the things that, you haven't worn in a really long time and figure out why. So try them on. Maybe they're torn. Maybe they have holes in them. Maybe there's something wrong with the garment that you won't wear it because it needs to be fixed or it needs to be taken out of the closet, right? So let's do that first. So look for anything that's stained that you can get stains out of, anything that's ripped or torn, anything that doesn't fit, anything those are the top three first. Those should be pretty easy. The fourth one is going to be, look at the pieces that you have not worn in, let's say 6 months. If you need it to be a smaller amount, say a year or two, right? Look at those items, try them on, figure out why you're not wearing them, right? Because if it's just because you don't like them, they don't fit, then we need to get them out of your closet. You need to think of your closet space as prime real estate, right? And we want only the things that fit us and that look good and that we like in our closet. It's a bigger task than, we're not going to tackle it all today, but that's a good first step, right? We want to take advantage of all the space that we have, right? So if we have all this stuff that is I'll give you an example. My closet is super small. So what I have to do is I go through each season and I change clothes out, right? I have my spring and summer in there now. And then when it starts to get to fall and the weather starts to cool off, I take all the spring and summer stuff out and I put all the fall and winter stuff in. So let's look at that. That could free up some more space as well. So that's a good place to start. Let's talk about stuff that doesn't really need to be in your closet. Do you have stuff that maybe could go in another space that's not day-to-day stuff? Do you have maybe comforters and blankets in there? Is there another place you can put those to free up space for what you actually use day-to-day? Are there boxes of stuff? I used to have all my sewing stuff in my closet, and it took up a lot of space. So I found another space for it. How about maybe boots or stuff, again, seasonal stuff that you don't wear in the summertime? Can we take that stuff out? And conversely, in the summertime, take all the sandals and, swap that stuff out. So again, we have more space for the stuff we're wearing right now. That would be amazing. Another thing we want to talk about is hangers. Ideally, you want streamlined hangers, right? You want either the velvet kind, or I have some that they're like sticky hangers, but they're all the same, right? Everything hangs the same. Everything looks the same. It looks very organized. A lot of it too is eye appeal, right? We're trying to make it more appealing for your eye. When you're going in to find something, you want to know, A, where to find it, and B, you want it to look nice when you pick it out, right? It helps with that mental piece of getting dressed in the morning. So let's think about that. Ideally, what you want to do is try on everything in your closet, right? If it doesn't fit, here's my philosophy. Try it on. If it doesn't fit right now, you don't want it in your closet. Again, we're talking about prime real estate, right? We want to be able to pick out the stuff that we like and that we wear. So if it doesn't fit, but it's still in really good shape, put it in a box or something, put it somewhere else, because there's a big mental piece to that too, right? Pulling out something and trying it on and it doesn't fit. Right there, you're 10 notches down on your what do I want to call it? Like your esteem scale. So that's the next piece, right? Only things that fit us right now. And then we're just going to we're going to organize everything in a way that makes sense. So do you wear more pants? Put your pants in the front row, right? Right where you see them every day. We want to use we want the stuff that we wear the most right in front of us, right? We want it accessible, easy to find, easy to pull out in the morning. If you want, like, organize it by colors too. Here's how I do it. I have my pants and my skirts together. I have my shirts, my blouses together. I have my t-shirts and my tank tops together. Sweaters, coats, everything else kind of go on the far sides of my closet. And then I always start with the bottoms. I find a pair of bottoms that I feel like wearing, whether it's a skirt or a pair of pants or shorts or whatever. I pick out the bottoms first. So then all I have to do is go to the color scheme of what matches with those pants, and everything's right there. So I flip through the shirts that match that pair of pants and I pull it out. It's easy, right? So you color coordinate all your pants and then all your shirts and then all your sweaters and then all your t-shirts. Everything should be, I do it lightest to darkest. You can do it however you want, whatever makes sense for you, right? This is about making it easy for you, not for anybody else. Like, somebody can tell you have to arrange your pants from shortest to longest and by this color and that color. If that doesn't work for you, then don't do it, right? We want everything to make sense for us. And we want everything to be visible. So if you have stuff shoved on, in cubbies or on shelves that you can't even see what's there, that's reason number one that you're not wearing it, right? You don't know it's there. Out of sight, out of mind. So start with that. And that's part of pulling everything out of the closet. But again, I know that's a big task. So let's start with, again, just finding the stuff that you haven't worn in a long time, ripped, stained, whatever, and pull all that stuff out, right? If it's ripped and stained, you're not going to wear it. Donate it, have somebody fix it, make it someone else's problem, not yours, okay? And then we'll go from there. So, and then we're going to get the right hanger, or we're going to get matching hangers. There is no right hanger. I want hangers that match, so it looks very uniform and very nice. Again, organized, right? The other thing, check your light bulb. Do you have a bright enough light bulb in your closet so you can actually see true colors and what's in there? I had, for the longest time, a light bulb that was not bright enough. And I'm telling you what, when I put a brighter light bulb in there, it was a whole new world. I was so excited. So that would be another trick. Try that. And then let's talk about maybe some storage boxes, right? The problem with stacking things on top of each other and kind of just having a space where you put stuff doesn't always get put away correctly, right? And other stuff kind of gets put in there as well. So we want dedicated spaces for certain things. So if you're going to fold your t-shirts, right, we want a dedicated space for folded t-shirts, ideally in a box or a container of some sort, right? Because then when you open it, this is where the t-shirts go. It's not as easy just to shove stuff in on a shelf as it is to actually look at a box and figure out where it needs to go. Now, the alternative to that is that it ends up on the bed or the floor or somewhere like that. So, and that's 100% me. I have to do it once a week, and I go and put everything back that I have not put back where it goes. That's just my personality. But so again, you have to figure out what works for you. But storage boxes, dedicated spaces for dedicated items. It's the easiest way to do it. We got to remove all the stuff that doesn't belong in our closet, right? Our closet is for our clothes and for getting dressed. So whether it means you have to put some stuff out in the garage or a utility closet or a coat closet or something else, I highly suggest that you do that because it will make life a lot easier, right? You can kind of spread things out in your closet, dedicated to clothes, shoes, accessories, jewelry. but there's not all the other stuff in there. But and for being organized, I always say look for boxes that you like. I wouldn't use just regular old storage boxes because then it looks kind of yuck. But even if you could find a plastic tub or something that looks a little bit nicer that you like, if you like the storage boxes, that's perfectly fine as well. But make it something that you like and that you're proud of and that you want to keep up with, right? You want to keep it looking nice and organized. Yeah. Okay. So here's what we talked about. Only clothes, shoes, accessories, and jewelry in the closet. Okay. Comforters, anything that's not clothes does not go in the closet. That's probably a big thing for most people. We're going to sort our clothes into groups, right? We want all the same things in the same area. It's going to make finding stuff 100% easier, and it's going to look a lot nicer, right? A lot of the problems that people have in their closets is they can't find anything and it just looks messy, right? If you open your closet every morning and you're looking at a big old pile of mess, it doesn't do anything for your mood or your inspiration, right, for the day, for getting dressed. So all the same things go in all the same areas, right? We want everything sorted and put together. And then we have to decide what clothes are staying and what clothes are going. Because my guess is if there's stuff shoved in the back of the closet or on a shelf or in a cubby or whatever, there's something wrong with it, would be my guess. From experience, that's what happens. We don't wear it and it gets shoved to the back, right? It never gets pulled out and it just keeps getting shoved further back. So find those pieces and decide why they're not getting worn. And if you're not wearing them, get rid of them. Right? Include stuff that doesn't fit. I'm not saying you have to get rid of everything that doesn't fit right now. Like if you're like me after COVID, I have a lot of stuff that doesn't fit right now. And I'm not ready to get rid of it because it's not a 4 size difference. Okay. It's, maybe not even a size difference, but it's too tight. It doesn't feel comfortable. So they're in a tub that I'll revisit later when I feel like I've, done what I need to do to fit back in them. But they can't take up space in your closet right now because it's just frustration waiting to happen, right? And then if you're taking clothes out section by section, clean it while you're taking all the stuff out, right? If you're moving stuff off the floor, move enough of it out that you can vacuum and clean the baseboards and, make it smell and feel new, right? Or clean at least, right? It makes a huge difference. And then you have to figure out what closet space you have and how you can make it work the best, right? With storage containers and hangers and how we're going to stack things and where we're going to put things on on what levels, right? The stuff you don't use as much, put it on the highest level and out of the way. Because if you want it, you can make the effort. You obviously don't wear it that often if it's going up on the higher shelves and away. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. And then gradually put stuff back in the order you want it in, right? The whole idea is we're taking everything out and organizing and putting everything back in so it's nice and neat and tidy. And then we just have to keep up on it, right? We have to reevaluate it regularly. Mine's kind of a blessing and a curse, but every 2 seasons, I have to clean out my closet. So I make a note and I do all this cleaning stuff and reorganizing stuff at that point, right? If you have enough space in your closet for everything to work, right? For everything, all seasons to be in there, then that's fine. But make sure you're organizing them by season. And the season that you're not wearing right now is not anywhere in your immediate eyesight, right? You move it to the back or to the sides, and you want all the stuff you're wearing right now front and center. Make sense? I hope. And then, you just have to keep revisiting it. It's not something that just magically stays organized, although I wish it did. But so does anybody have any questions? I see a couple people on. So if there are questions, let me know. If not, I'll think about what else I can talk about for a couple more minutes. How about, well, I don't know. We're going to keep it to organization. But I will say that if you kind of follow these principles in a very generic way, it could work for anything. It could work for your bathroom. It could work for your, your hall closet, your coat closet. It could work for almost anything, any part of your house in your life. CT wants to know, how do you organize accessories? I'm of the same thing. You want to be able to see all your accessories, right? If you can, like, even if you get a rack that you can just hang necklaces and earrings on. I'll have to take a picture of mine one day because I have a ton of accessories, and I used to not wear a lot of them because I couldn't see them, right? Out of sight, out of mind. So if you can have them out, I have mine in a drawer. So if you don't have a drawer in your closet, you could utilize some of the wall space in your closet, right? Sometimes we don't use all the space that we can. If you have a space on your wall where you could hang something, right? And you can hang your necklaces and your earrings, depending on how many you have. If you use, again, you can use a container, right? You can use, I've seen, you can go to Pinterest. They have a lot of really good ideas there. But I saw somebody who had a foam board, and it was like a drawer size, right? And they had a foam board, and they put a little pin in there, and they hung earrings on each pin, right? And the same with the necklaces. So sometimes you have to get creative. Like, I personally don't have a lot of closet space, so that's why I ended up doing it on the wall. A wall not in my closet, let's be clear. But a lot of people do have a lot more space in their closets. And wall space a lot of times is one that doesn't get utilized a lot. So think about that. Scarves and stuff, you can use a hanger, right? It can just be like a piece of clothing. You have to remember to kind of pull the hanger out so you can see everything. They have hangers that have like holes in them, and you just feed the scarves through the holes, and then they all lay kind of flat and you can see through there. But again, I think the biggest thing is you want to be able to see everything, right? Because you want to be able to know what you have to wear and try and use what you have, or get rid of it, right? If you're not wearing it, if it doesn't match anything, if you don't like it that well, then don't let it take up space, honestly. And I'm not, by all means, I'm not saying don't get rid of everything just because you don't have space for it, but let's strategically find ways to use the stuff that we actually have, right? Lauren says, would you suggest getting rid of the clothes that don't fit you or simply storing them in the attic? So I'm going to say it depends, okay? If they're clothes that you haven't worn for 2 years and you're not super duper fond of them and maybe they don't fit right now, then get rid of them. If you really like the clothes and they don't fit and you feel like it's going to be an interim, like it's going to be a short-term thing, yes, but do not leave them in your closet. If they don't fit, don't leave them in your closet. It just creates frustration. When you pull that piece out in the morning, you're like, oh yeah, this is what I want to wear. And then you put it on and it doesn't fit. Like, yeah, it's not a good feeling. So even if you want to keep the clothes, right, and you want to wear them eventually, I'm going to say be reasonable, right? If they're clothes that you wore when you were 30, okay, I had jeans in my closet that I wore when I was 30, right? And I was like, oh no, I can't get rid of them. I can't get rid of them. They were taking up so much space, right? So, you have to find better uses for them than taking up space in your closet. If there's something that fit before COVID, you wore it all the time and you love it and you just need to lose a pound or two or do some sit-ups or whatever the case may be, if you're going to do that, right? If you're working hard to reach that goal to get those clothes back in your closet, then just put them in a bin and yes, put them in the attic or put them wherever else you can. Just don't leave them in your closet in front of your eyesight, right? It's just frustrating. And so many people do that. And it creates more decision fatigue than you already have. Right? A lot of people struggle with what to wear anyway, but then you pull out a couple things that don't fit and you're over the top, running late, everything. Just because you're trying to figure out what you're going to wear for the day, right? Let's make it easy. I wish everybody could have one of those easy buttons. I have one. I don't know where it is. That was easy. Do you remember that from the old Staples commercials? Anywho, it's prime real estate. That's what I want you all to remember. Your closet is prime real estate. We want the stuff in there that A, you're going to wear, B, you like wearing. I'm sure you guys have all heard of the 80-20 rule, right? As a rule, I would say 99.9% of the women I work with wear, I'm sure there's been studies done about it too, wear 20% of their wardrobe 80% of the time, right? So if we can get that, I would love to have that switched where 80% of your wardrobe, 20% of the time, right? If you had everything in your wardrobe that fit, it was all nice, neat, and organized, you could find exactly what you wanted, like it would be amazing. Once I actually got my closet organized many years ago, like I saw so much more possibility. There were so many more clothes to wear, so many more things to do with what I had. And then I didn't feel like I had to go out and go shopping and buy something new because I didn't have anything to wear. So it's all a big kind of a mindset thing, but let's, once you get your closet organized and it looks beautiful and you can see everything, you will find that you'll have a lot more stuff to wear too. So that is that. That's my 2 cents on organizing. Anybody have any other questions? Or I feel like we've kind of covered it all now. But we'll leave this video in the group for you, and feel free to reference it at any time. I do have a checklist too that I'll add in the group with all this stuff on there. So if you need to, if you're the type A that needs, something to check off the boxes, I'd be happy to put that in there. So I'll put it in the same thread as the video. I'll put it in the same proximity of the video, and then you can have that too if that helps. Okay. All right, my friends. It was fun. If you need anything, you know where to find me, and I will see you in a couple weeks. We'll do our Q&A. I'll talk to you soon.